Yo guys, and welcome to the next episode of the Redtop Mini. As you can see, things are looking quite different already. We've completely primed and prepped the front end here, so this is all kind of ready for action, ready to be painted. I've then gone over near enough the entire outside of the body with this grinder with the wire wheel attachment, and I've taken all the paint off right the way back to the metal. And a few people called me like mad for this, but the reason why I wanted to do this is in several places I knew for a fact that there was a considerable amount of body filler on the panels, and I wanted to see why. I wanted to strip it right the way back to the original metal to see just what the damage was. I didn't want to be like painting it, or for a later date for a rust patch or something to appear and for there to have been hidden damage that could have been avoided if I hadn't done this process to begin with. So I'm really pleased with how it's looking. Just a few more bits to kind of tart up and polish off. I've got to just kind of get in the recesses around the gutter, kind of clean all any filler out of there, go around the inside of the door arches. You may be able to see the hole that's in the doorstep at the moment. The reason why I've done this is because someone in the past had kind of done a real bodge job on this. It looked really rubbish. There was no real sort of shape there. They kind of just blanketed it with a new panel, which was quite a poor job, and I didn't like it at all. And the thought that I'd see that every single time I got into this car kind of made me feel a little bit ill, really. So I cut the bad bit out. Thought, well, to make a new panel in there, if I was going to fabricate a panel, would take me some considerable time to get it right with all the little shapes, because there's several little kind of right angles and curves there. I began doing it, and after about 15 minutes I thought, you know what, I'm going to look online, and I found replacement step, brand spanking new, for about 15 quid, so it really wasn't worth the time and effort to faff around. So I've now got that. So the first job for today is I'm going to cut this step out and measure it all up, etc., and put a new one in, so then that'll all be done and dusted. The other exciting news I've got is I've actually bought a 3 metre by 3 metre gazebo. The reason as for that is, yes, we're in this awesome enclosed garage space, however it does get very dusty in here, and I've kind of sprayed little things here and there and it very quickly gets dust on it. So it would be a real shame if I were to do a really nice paint job on this and for there to all be little kind of dust crevices in it, and that would be really disappointing. So the aim is to get this whole car prepped. As soon as we finish all the grinding, all the rubbing down, which should be today, we're going to then sweep all the floor in the near side sort of perimeter and around it, get all the dust out, even hoover to make sure there's no dust on it, then erect this gazebo, which is then going to become our almost dust-free environment in which we can spray. And yeah, things are looking good. I'm really keen to kind of get cracking today. Another exciting thing we've got as well is I bought a 6-point roll cage for this. I got it second hand off a guy that I found on the internet. Got it for an incredibly good price. Really pleased with it. And that's currently outside the workshop being prepped by my friend Orv. He's going to sand it down, sort it all out, and he's going to spray it satin black. I didn't want to do it gloss black because I thought it was just a bit too much and a bit too much effort. So the kind of like the matte, sheeny sort of satin colour I think will look ideal, look really smart, and should be relatively hard wearing if we get a decent amount of coats on it. So yeah, he's doing that. So hopefully the aim is by the end of the day have the doorstep in, gazebo up, and possibly if we got time do a coat of primer on it. But let's see how it goes. Oh, there's a bird. Fair enough, let's crack on. Yo guys, so first things first, you're on a little bit of a slant because you're on my phone, in the phone holder, in the car. As you know, you're in England, not allowed to use your phone while driving, so boom, there you go. So quickly just to come out of what we did, the stuff you've just seen was yesterday. Come across a couple of little hiccups. So the first hiccup was the doorstep. The replacement step that I got for it didn't quite fit, so I've had to fabricate it in. Started welding all that out, going really well, then I ran out of welding wire, and by this time it was probably about 7 o'clock in the evening, so there was nowhere open to go get welding wire, and we then went off and had a barbecue at a friend's house. The second hiccup was after my friend had finished painting up the roll cage, which looked really good, really pleased with it, we started putting it in, and I realised that well, if you know anything about the mini roll cages, you'll realise that on the rear ones, you got two vertical pieces that go down into like the rear door pocket things, and then there's two more like that sort of shaped ones that kind of go into, well, that attach to the rear arches. This roll cage had come out of a normal Mini, and stupid me thought, well, if it come out of a normal Mini, it's going to fit in a Clubman Estate. I never once considered the fact that the Clubman Estate wheelbase may be slightly longer, so therefore it's actually sits this far away from the wheel arch. So the plan now is to create a bit of box and put it in underneath that and do that, because I don't really want to cut the frame, extend it, and etc. So I'd rather make a box underneath it to fill the gap. Apart from that, it all fits really nice. Okay, so the reason for being in the car, the reason for the wobbly camera, is because this morning I woke up, went onto Facebook, went on the 16 valve mini group forum thing on Facebook, and someone had put up these seats. Okay, and these are the OMP Brands Hatch seats. Now, I've been wanting these seats for ages. Up until now, because I thought I didn't really want to spend big money on seats, I was just going to put the standard ones back in, which kind of always worried me a little bit because they are rubbish. They haven't got any headrests, which obviously if you've got that much power, you're going to need some sort of headrest when you're accelerating anyway. Plus, it's nice to have a headrest when you're just cruising about. Anyway, you put these seats up, really, really good price. These seats brand new. When I've looked, they're £250 each, so that's 500 quid for the two, maybe plus another £100 or whatever for the subframes just to fit in the Mini. And this person's selling these for 150 quid. So fingers crossed they're as good as they look in the pictures, and fingers crossed that it's all going to go pretty sweet. So got to drive up to London now. I've been driving for maybe 40 minutes. We've got about an hour 20 left till we get to this place, and I'm looking forward to going and getting them. So let's cut now, see when we get there. Right then guys, so I've just got here, just gone in and looked at the seats, and I've got them. They are absolutely so beautiful. This one's just got a slight little bit of wear on the edge there. I'm going to see what I can do with that. Maybe about to glue it, something, just try and tighten it up a little bit. Apart from that, these seats look like they're in perfect condition. Like the padding's still hard. Like really, really pleased with that. Really, really, really like them. Beautiful. Right, let's get cracking. Let's get the 2-hour drive home, get back to the workshop and continue with the project. Right, so as you can see, we're back in the lockup and the new doorstep is in place. Quite pleased with it, just need a little bit of grinding down at either end just to kind of neaten it up a little bit. The next job for today is going to get the roll cage in. As you can see, it's almost there, the front's in. However, this cage was for a standard Mini, and as you can see down there, it doesn't quite fit on the arch just yet. It's got about this much sort of room which doesn't fit. So the thing I'm doing to kind of conquer that is I've started making these things. Let me just get the focus right. Just forgive my welding, I will kind of tart it up and grind that down. So I made these wedges that go in like that, and they fit up underneath that gap, and I'll weld these to the bottom of the roll cage and to the arch, and it should do a good job. So I got this one sorted last night. It got quite late, so I didn't want to keep chopping, so I've got the rest made up here. So the first job of today will be to cut those. Then the second job after I've done that is something I started yesterday, I didn't finish off. I started rebuilding the rear brakes. Everything's all like brand new. Apart from the plates are like reconditioned ones, but they're looking pretty sweet. Everything's all new, pistons are new, brake shoes are new, springs and everything else is kind of new, apart from those little adjusters in there and the handbrake, which I kind of reconditioned myself. That one's all nearly there, as you can see. All kind of stripped it all back, stripped the swing arm all back. It did look like this one before, all horrible and grotty. So that one will have the same treatment. That one there, so we've got a before and after. So looking forward to getting that done. That's the second job of today. And then after that, I'm not too sure. We'll, yeah, who knows? Oh yeah, something else I got to do is I got to come around here, and these horrible looking welds that I did with the rubbish little welder, well, I say rubbish, it's alright. It's a gasless welder, kind of doesn't really look very neat. Got the bigger welder with the gas bottle, so I've smashed it out. So 3 main things to do today. Finalise the door step, make the little triangular pieces up for the roll cage, weld those in, weld the rest of the cage in, sort out that swing arm, and maybe start rebuilding the rear subframe, as in bolt everything back to it. So let's see how we get. Let's crack on. Some other cool news is got a new welding mask. It's got like skulls and stuff on it, and I think it's just so awesome. It's the difference between this and the one I was using. The one I was using was just like a standard sort of thing that would just always be dark. This one's got a reaction thing, so you can set it up to the sort of how reactive you want it, how much you want it to go darker. And like right now I can put it on and I can still see, which the other one I couldn't see. I can see through it. As soon as I start welding, it blinks shut instantly and goes dark, enabling me to be able to weld without hurting my eyes. Just in case you're wondering, by the way, this isn't like a new sort of styling hat. This is the free welding hat I got with the mask, and it just stops kind of any sparks going in and melting your head, because apparently it's fireproof. And my hair isn't. Right, so this is the one that I want to make like an example of. So the way I do it is I personally line this up on the angle that I want it. I then bring this in underneath to where it best suits. A little bit more. And then where these two meet, I draw a little line. And then all I've got to do is square that point up with the end there, straight across. I tend to always make it slightly bigger than it is, because you can always take away, but you can't add very well. On our safety protection, ear protection. You only get one set of eyes, you only get one set of ears. Clamp her in nice and tight. Get our thin cutting blade. I tend to just score it to begin with before I... It's going to be pretty warm, so don't just grab it without a pair of gloves or a cloth. Put it in that way. Disgusting rag. Give her a little tap. Down the one now. Take her back out. This is the piece we have just cut. Can I find the focus on you guys? It's very hot, so I'm not touching it with my hands. Let's bring it back up here for you. Line it up, lay it on top. Not too bad. If I kind of show you the top. Got the other welder that I'm borrowing off a friend of mine. It's really awesome. Highly recommend using like a gas welder as opposed to the gasless with the flux core wire. That stuff was hard. So yeah, let's line this thing up. Now we tack it. Just test it against the other one. Spot on. One done. Now I've got to do one more, and then we've got to sort a little, we'll do a little bit of grinding on the edges, and then butt the two together. Right, so as you can see, I finally got the this side welded on. However, I have literally just this second realised I made the biggest mistake, if you look at the one that's on the far side, can you notice the difference between that one and this one? Ah! I messed it up. I put it on the wrong. I double, triple, quadruple checked it, and I've just spent all that time, and I put it on around the wrong way. Life sucks right now. There you go. Crisis averted. Both on around the same way. They're cut in this angle so they fit onto the arch. So what I'm going to do, I've just sprayed a bit of spray paint on the far one. Going to give that a few minutes to dry. Put this rear side of the subframe back up, roughly in position. Get the front one where it is, roughly in position. Put the door bars and the roof bars all in, and then jiggle it about until it's in a suitable position for me to completely weld it in. But for now, gonna have a break. Got my drink, 10-minute break I think. Right then guys, so as you can see, we've got the roll cage all kind of secured into place. They just need a little bit more welding just around the edges, but they've got the majority of the welds on. So that's a massive thumbs up for today. I think I'm gonna call that it for today's video. I think you've seen quite a lot's gone on, and I'm just about ready to call it a night for today. So I think, yeah, let's leave the rest till the next episode, and thanks again for watching. I hope you've enjoyed what you've seen, and remember, it's now or never, so stay positive, and also remember, dream big and you will achieve big. So yeah, thanks, bye.